that.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Perfect. All right. So, can't hear me?
That's weird.
Okay. All right. We might have to adjust a couple things just because of the sound. Again, we do apologize. We're just getting this started. This is my first time ever doing this. So, if you are checking this out, just give us a little bit of your patience because we're trying. So, again, we're here at the new channel. We're creating a new channel. It's called The Positive Pause. Right now, we're streaming it on mine just because the Positive Pause does not have enough subscribers. So if you are into the idea of spreading some positivity, check that channel out. Hit that like button, subscribe button. So we got Ty in here tonight, and we're just gonna open up the script with. If you're here right now, it probably means you need a break, right? So if you need a break from all the noise, all the headlines, the stress, or just the constant pressure of just keeping your life going, just take a deep breath. It's going to be all right. This is not going to be the place to argue. This is not going to be the place where we're going to tell you how to fix yourself or how to become more positive. We're trying to interact with you, the viewers, to create a dialogue to show people that we all can kind of find some positivity in our days. So, like we said, take a deep breath for a second. Maybe you're doing a little 420ing. Maybe pack that bowl up. Do it whatever it is you think you need to do to relax at this moment. But take a moment, breathe, reset, and let's talk about some things that actually might help us humans feel good. I'm Kaniki, and with me tonight is Ty Boogie. And for the next hour, let's just slow some things down. Like I said, if you are just tuning in, we are super new at this with the trying to do the co-op stream. So be sure to check out Ty Boogie at Exquisite5639. And yeah, so we got a couple key talking points tonight. If you're checking this out, and one thing I think that maybe Ty you can agree with, or maybe you have some thoughts, but we're going to try to keep it to the viewers as well. But positivity is not ignoring reality, right? We don't want to ignore our own realities and what like overcloak it with just positive things, right? There are times that we're going to feel sad, we're going to feel jealous, we're going to feel other types of things. So um it means choosing where our energy is going to go, right? We can choose to have negative thoughts, we can choose to spread negativity to others. um but I think you can acknowledge problems without living like inside of the problem, right? Like we can have a problem, and we can be going through something in life, but I don't think we have to live through it all the time. Let that kind of
Right.
just let that soak in for a second. Ever again, everyone take a quick pause. This is the positive pause. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, I think that taking a pause, removing yourself has become is a big deal. I think nowadays, especially with like social media and like uh, you know our devices, we well, our devices kind of program us to like kind of just like regurgitate information quickly, and I think that we become that like when we're not living on our devices. So when we're trying to live out in society and things like that, I think that we become so overwhelmed with like other people's behavior that is outside of our norm. Especially lately after like COVID and stuff. And we are all so scared and like caught up um,
Yeah.
in our own worlds and like being in quarantine and stuff, and then going back out. It was it was an adjustment. I don't think that we took the time to realize psychologically how we, you know, really
Well,
needed to manage our next, you know,
yeah,
our next steps. So it's like,
I think that kind of leads us right into the next thing here is that positivity, right? When we're not ignoring reality, it's like what happened during COVID, right? Like we we got we were faced with a lot of negativity, a lot of unknown, a lot of fear and anxiety, right? And when we all have fear and anxiety, or I should say, at least for myself, when I'm fearful and I'm anxious, I tend to make unrash decisions, right? Like I'm going to make decisions based off of those fears. Um, and although COVID was a negative type of thing, what were some of the positives that we saw during COVID? Shout out to all the people in chat too.
I think some of the things that we saw. Actually, I was thinking about this the other day when I was doing some meditation. Was thinking about um there was like moments, there were some posts and things that I saw that like of like things in nature that had like kind of started to like go back that we hadn't
Yeah,
seen
everyone
in half.
stopped driving. It was a big thing. Like remember, they were like the little bit of
Yeah,
everyone stopping to drive helped the carbon monoxide levels. I mean,
yeah, there was
extremely
that.
positive, right? Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Who would
like
have
it, like
thought, right? Like
and,
we all go
and
like,
migration. Yeah,
yeah.
bird migrations and things like that, and like aquatic plant life, and yeah, like things like that. You know,
So I mean,
um,
those are some positive
there
things
were
though that I think got completely overlooked because those have nothing to do with us, right? Those have to do with something that is now pushed on us all the time. And without even really consciously thinking about it, we all just took a break from driving and stayed home and reduce it, like we reduce our carbon footprint. So even in the moments of us being shrouded with the news, right? The fear, the anxiety, all this stuff, we just did something without even knowing it. You know, I
right.
think that like I mean, we could call it, that brings us to like the second point is like the small wins matter than sometimes the bigger goals, right? Sometimes
Yeah,
the smaller wins that we have, we're able to, at least for me, at least right now in my own life, the smaller wins are coming at a much slower rate, but it's all I got. And if I were to just look at some of the negative things, you know, I I would be allowing social media to push a lot of things on me that I really don't understand. You right? What are some things, that we can do right now in our moment of pause? We got about an hour here. We might go a little bit longer. Again, it took us a minute to get going in the beginning.
Uh,
We what are some small wins that we can if you're tuning in, you're scrolling past, what are some small wins in the chat? Drop them in the chat if you feel like it. What are some things that we um everyone's been doing today? Some things maybe that get overlooked. I would say for myself, a big one, I don't know, like today, just one, waking up. I'm not hungover. I don't wake up hungover anymore. That's always a positive. Second one, just taking a shower, to be honest with you. It's like getting myself cleaned up. These are small wins. Sometimes they can be really hard for people. Um, if you're out there today, what's one good decision that you made today? Ty, what's one good decision you made today? If you're just checking this out, I think I got a little hiccup with Ty here. Oh, I think he's coming back.
yeah. I don't know what happened.
It's all good. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened.
It's all good. People are still liking it. So,
Yeah.
um, I asked you like today, what's one positive decision that you made for today? Making one good
Uh,
decision.
like, so, uh, I don't know. So I guess it's pre-planned or just like a positive decision I made, like in the moment. Because I mean, I
I
guess
mean,
I
I would
could.
think. I mean, a pre-planned, a pre-planned good decision. I think probably, you know, is I don't know. It's hard to weigh that. I don't know, Chad. If you're scrolling in, what's better, a pre-planned good decision, or one that you make on the fly? I'd say what do you got for both?
Well, I mean, I went to therapy, so like that was like I would say probably my pre-planned, uh, good decision. I stuck with it. It was it was a planned. I scheduled the appointment and went. But I guess like something in the moment, like good decision is probably like deciding to like go get a smoothie rather than like go to the fast food, joint, you know.
So
uh,
that's a great right. That's a great small win on the bigger right, the bigger picture.
right.
Maybe your
Yeah.
goal out there is to lose weight. You're not going to do it overnight, right? It happens with one good decision at a time. Do you think that momentum and motivation go together, or do you think one is greater than the other?
Oh. I do think that motivation. I think you do need the motivation uh, to gain momentum. Uh, but for one, is one greater than the other? Well, momentum can change, like it can stop on a dime, and that doesn't necessarily change motivation. You know, like
Yeah,
a football team in like the fourth quarter, who's been winning the whole game. They might have momentum going into the fourth quarter, but that doesn't mean that like you know the motivation of the other team isn't going to put a stop to that momentum.
right.
And change momentum. Uh, so, uh, yeah, that's a good question. I
Cool.
would say that motivation probably is more important, is greater, just because momentum can be kind of a little more spontaneous. I guess that's the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think for myself, the difference between the two is I can be as motivated as ever in my head to want to do something, right? Like I could have all the best intentions in my brain of why or whatever the right, like whatever the motive is, but then like putting that into some sort of reality can always be tough. It's like even something small, right? Like I could do the dishes, but I don't do all the dishes. It's like I might be motivated to do the dishes, but I fucking stop halfway through. So do you think that your environment, shapes your mood?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I think our environment has a excuse me, has a bigger effect than a lot of us like realize. I think that, and that's because like sometimes like we just kind of like grow accustomed to certain behaviors and just a certain design of things that we like kind of you think about it like the first time you like go over like a friend's house and like you know you see all the like the things that they're able to do. That like I, like you go over a friend's house and you hear them like talk back to their like mom or their dad or something, and you're like, damn, I would never think to talk back to my father like that. So it's like I think it changes like the environment, you know. Um,
Yeah.
it does have like an impression. I think environment does um,
So
greatly
I'm gonna
affect.
just shout out a couple people that have subscribed just while we've been sitting here. So Weather Boys, thank you for subscribing. Unk Gava, thank you so much for following over there on I think I'm over there on Kick. If you're just swiping in and checking this out, this is the Positive Pause. It's a new kind of podcast. I'm jumping over from some of my material from my other stream so that we can kind of take a break, giving all the YouTube scrollers out there, just take a pause. If you're scrolling in, just stop.
Stop.
Take a pause. Take a break from all the news. I know you're probably doom scrolling, looking for the next MAGA thing to fucking fill your head or some shit about ICE. Not saying that stuff's not important, but we just need to take a break. So we came up with this channel, not the first one, but the Positive Pause. Let's take a quick pause. Let's try to think of some of the good things. We were just talking about environment and how your environment can shape your mood. If there's some things out there right now, if you're feeling a little bit down, change your own environment, maybe just a little bit. Maybe make your bed, right? That's a small thing you can do in your own environment to change your mood. Maybe put on some fucking music, right? Music can change our entire moods. Maybe put something on that brings you back to a better time and just reminisce, because the feeling of goodness, no matter how we get there, unless you're just fucking thinking that heroin's making you feel good, which I got to tell you, that's a different hour of conversation. um we don't need to even do that, because we can just change the lighting, we can put some music on. Fuck who you talk to, like was just shared. You could go over to someone's house and interact with them, and it could be a negative vibe, but you, from that, you can take the positivity that, well, this isn't how I want to talk to someone else, right? um some things we could do out there: maybe turn off some of our notifications, maybe just for a little bit, right? Maybe there's someone in your life that's just blowing up your motherfucking phone. Just maybe turn it off for a little bit, take a walk, right? What do you think about this, Ty? You don't need to have a perfect life. We just need a calmer space.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean that kind of goes back to the environment thing that we're just talking about. Is like being able to set boundaries and things that are necessary uh, to keep us in the moment. So I do think that like having like a time and being able to create that safe space and learning how to create that safe space, um, whether it's with your spouse or like family members that you live with, um, or even people like in work. Uh, if you depending on what like work environment you're in, you have to deal with people that you may not necessarily get along with. So sometimes
Well,
creating
I think what you just said kind of hits on our next like talking point. But before we get to that, just if you're out there scrolling past, take a quick pause. Okay, it's a positive pause. What's one thing that you can do right now in your own environment to reset your mood and to become a little more positive? Dim the light, throw on a candle, make your bed. Whatever you can do. If you're doing something, drop it in the chat. I think where you were going, or what it sounded like, is a good what's going on in Russia. I think one thing you brought up work. Work started going with work relationships. I think, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, but comparison is the fastest way that we can lose positivity. Right? I think that everyone is on a different timeline. And when we start, maybe we're at this point right now where you're comparing yourself to the people that are protesting, and in your head you want to be there. Again, you're comparing, like you're not meant to be there, right? Like and I don't know. I know in work life, we can tend to overdo that, right? Like we're looking for a promotion. We're looking for, you might be a manager out there. You might be looking for the approval of your employees or your boss. It's all structured. But yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts on comparison. What do you see? Yeah.
Well, I think that comparison kind of seeps like into like it creates jealousy and like envy in some ways. So I agree with you that it is like kind of a way to um kind of harness negativity. Uh we get so caught up of like the things we don't have that others might have that we wish we had, and so it can definitely be something that throws off our mood and our focus trying to get that promotion. I've definitely felt like that recently. I felt like that I don't really fit the mold, the corporate mold. So I feel like I'm kind of stagnant, and when I know myself well enough that if I start to kind of get stagnant and I feel like I'm not really growing, then like I kind of start to fall into um, you know on
So we got
on
it. We got a good shout out here in the chat from Darth. Darth Korax. Shout out to you, bro. He said that comparing to past peak versions of oneself is destructive too.
I like that.
And then he followed it up with destruction is good though. Embrace chaos. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, destruction is good. I'm not saying that's bad. Sometimes we got to completely, unfortunately, destroy ourselves to rebuild a better version of ourselves, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep. Definitely been there.
Right? I mean, um, you know, uh another little talking point here is you don't need to be ahead. You just need to keep moving. We don't I guess that kind of fits right with the motto progress over perfection, right?
Yeah.
We might have a lot of goals in front of us that look positive. It could be weight loss, they could be mental health, right? We might have mental health goals that we're trying to achieve. Um I think that the best thing, at least for myself nowadays too. I mean, I still catch myself, but um I can't always think of what I would be like if I had done something different in my past, right? Like I think we're at, you know, trying to live for the moment, for the future, instead of you know. All right. I was told to ask you what's your biggest regret in life? Something
My
light.
ooh, biggest regret in life. I think uh, I think just time that I've invested in things that I wasn't passionate about. So like a lot of that was just pretending to be somebody that I wasn't. You know, uh, to like kind of fit into circles. I cared more about for a while my social reputation than I did about I just wish I made more career decisions younger in life. you know, uh, yeah,
Well, I think you nailed it on the head. You said you tried to change yourself, right? You tried to do things less passionate to try to fit in, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Nick Har says, Mikey Andy, yo, what's up? It's your old friend Nick Har. What's good? What's up, Nick?
Yo,
So Darth, I hope that helps. I mean, we stepping into the next part of our little talking point. Yeah, we all have the same lives. Ah, see this dude. Yo, shout out to you, Darth, bro. I mean, that's probably something we might talk about on a different show, but definitely I think you're right. We are all the same lives, just other faces and voices. I gotta say, I couldn't agree with that fucking more. I just had this conversation with my wife, literally about how can you classify love, right? We all love, like, do we all love differently? I don't want to get into that. We're gonna get into this next thing.
I mean I
um
liked where you were going with it. So I mean like because I could go on as a person I've I'm a big writer, and so I get into it, and so like we as English speaking individuals, like we have love, the word. We only have that one word for love, but like I think it's like Greece. Like in Greek, there's like for love. Like there's a love of like a brother or a sister, a love of a parent, a love of a child, a love of a spouse, a love of a neighbor and things like that. So there's different words for it. So I don't know where you were going with it, but I do find that interesting. It's like, what is love? But
Well, I
like, because
think
I do agree
the
that there is.
written word of love is something that is, so my wife, I said to my wife, today where I'm at in my own spirituality, I look at love as more of like it's an action word, and it only comes from an action, and it's not an action by myself, an action of that person that I love, right? When I catch my wife with the right smile or in the right light, right? It puts this feeling in my heart that, again, writers and other people for years have tried to write out that description of love because it's so powerful. And anyone who's been in love or anyone who has had their heart broken, that has had to go through those types of emotional roller coasters, I don't care what language you speak, the feeling in the heart hurts, feels the same, whether it's good or bad. I don't think that is unique to anyone that bleeds red, right? Like anyone that bleeds red's gonna love, and anyone, you're gonna have your heart broken. If you sat down with someone and you could be on the left, the right, or it doesn't matter. It's like those feelings of loss, those feelings of compassion, they're shared through certain actions that, yes, make us unique because some people participate and some don't. But the overall feeling can only be translated into, again, it's like that spiritual bliss. Again, we're talking about positivity here. We're talking about taking a moment. If you're just scrolling in, Really appreciate it. Appreciate you, Darth, in the chat. Shout out to people in Russia. Again, that that feeling I think is what makes us more the same as you and me have talked over the years about, right? Everyone being on the same team, everyone, you know, being in that realm. So, but we're gonna take a quick rest. Just take a quick breather. This is a new podcast for us. We're trying to feel out the waters here. We've had some pretty good viewers in and out, so we really appreciate it. Shout out to the people that have followed and subscribed. If you're checking out my channel at Kaniki, be sure to check out Mr. Ty over here. He's at fuck. Where the fuck are you, Ty?
I don't know.
Shout out your YouTube handle. It's at exquisite with some numbers.
Yeah, I forget the numbers. I think it's like 5369 or something like that. Or I don't know. That might not even be it.
I did leave a thing in my post, so if you do want to know who I'm talking to, you can check out my page real quick. I did throw up Ty's credentials on there. You can feel free to check him out as well. But there's a lot going on out there. There's a lot you can scroll right past. Just take a minute. Let's try to catch some positivity. Let's share some positivity. Um, we're not really talking about current events, so you can scroll on, find something else, or take a break, take a rest. Pausing doesn't mean quitting. Remember that.
I'm the wrong
Rest.
person to talk to about current events because I don't know much that goes on in current events. Uh,
Yeah, well, right now everyone hates everybody, and everybody wants everyone else to fucking stop doing whatever it is the fuck they're doing.
it just
It's just
sounds
the
like
same
the
old shit.
way
Everybody else has a fucking problem with
same
someone else,
old shit. Like, yeah.
but I mean, the only little bit of positivity I did hear in some current events. I don't know how the protesters are feeling about it. I never loved really anyone else than family. Also, therefore, never really felt love. Oh, well, that's why we're having this podcast for that feeling right there. And again, Darth, and I just totally ran back, but I gotta keep up with the chat because that's why we're doing this. So Ty, I never loved really anybody else than family. Also, therefore, never really felt love. Darth, you got to remember, bro, that if you can feel love, I can like things or people, but love, no. I would say that I bet you there's some things that you're overlooking. I mean, I don't want to pry in anyone's family life, but if you can feel some love for your family, either you loving them or you feeling some sort of gratefulness coming back, that's just all it is. It doesn't have to be more than that. We don't have to overcomplicate things, right? Like we can keep positivity simple. We can keep love simple too.
I think that love, going back to what we were talking about, that love is something that can be overcomplicated, but it is like the simple things. It's those little things that kind of like really find it. It's like you don't you don't really know what the love is. It's like watching a kid. A kid doesn't know what love is. They just know what they like really enjoy and what they really like. Find it. You could just. Maybe you love just sitting there doom scrolling. Like maybe you love to like pop in and like see people have these types of conversations. So it's it's those things that kind of keep us grounded. Love, I think, is just like it's a vibration, it's a feeling, it's like an emotion, it's a grounding. You know, it's
Yeah.
something that just kind of makes
Well,
us feel normal, which is kind of, I don't like that word normal, but it's like uh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No, it's
off.
all right. I think it circles back to what we were talking about before, which is the small wins matter sometimes more than the bigger goals, right? Like,
Right.
um, though, like whether is love a habit? No, I don't think love is a habit. I think love is,
I don't think so.
yeah, I think love, like I said, from and again, my perspective has kind of changed. There was a really dark time in my life, so I hate to sound super cliche, but through the darkness, you start seeing the light. And I feel like love nowadays is unconditional. Like real love is unconditional. Um,
Yeah.
if you have an animal, right, like, and you really love your animal, you know what that feels like because unlike, and I'm not saying you can't love a child unconditionally, but children get older and they can start swearing back at you. Like there's moments in time when like your children might not bring you positivity because I've been not a very positive child myself. I think love is something that happens unconditionally and is something that you really have to ground yourself. And again, small wins matter. You might be in a marriage where you don't know if things are good, bad, or indifferent. You might be in a relationship where you don't know if you need to stay or go. There's a reality that comes with positivity too. This is the positivity pause. We got to take the pauses and see the small thing, like the small things for positive, the
Yeah.
small
And
things that make love not a habit. Love is unconditional.
it starts with yourself. You're not really able to love the things around you until you're able to love the things about yourself. I was having a conversation with my boss, he's a few years older than me, and we have a lot of the same musical interests and such. But this one particular song came on, which is kind of out of the wheelhouse of what we normally talk about, and happened to be my first concert, which was the Hanson brothers. That
Nice.
yeah, Mbop. I was like 9 years old. Like I was a little kid, but that was my first concert, and he made like a joke about oh, I wouldn't tell people about that and whatever. But like, I like that thought about it, and I was like, nah, like I still like this song. I still remember some of their other songs, like and like I remember why I like them, because I'm the oldest of four boys, and that's a band of like brothers and stuff, and like I always loved, like, had a passion for music, and like so there was like a draw to it, and there was a time where I probably would have been like, oh, what an idiot! I used to listen to like the Hanson brothers, but as I've gotten older, it's a song that plays at my job all the time, so I hear it. So I, I've like grown accustomed to it, and like I've appreciated it now, and I've started to kind of love it, and and yeah, somebody might make a joke or, oh, I wouldn't tell people about it, but I'm like, nah, I'm still gonna tell people about it, like even if it is like something that like somebody might think is silly or stupid or whatever. That's just something that I can still love about myself, like my musical like my taste in music is you know pretty. It is an acquired taste. I will say that, like so, but yeah, I still love it, and I love that stuff, and so it's like I can drive around and listen to music that I hadn't listened to in 20 years, and like, oh yeah, I used to really love this song when I was a kid, and and like, maybe there was a time where I thought I was too cool for that part of me,
Well,
but
again,
as
even
I'm older,
even in
I've
that
come
moment,
to love
whether you're older or now, it feeds into our topics tonight, which your environment, right? Being able to change the music or not being able to change the music, but being able to hear a song that might come on while you're at work. And maybe instead of fucking throwing that to the wind and being like, oh, I'm so sick of hearing this song, or finding the negativity that might come with liking a group like the Hanson brothers, there's some positivity to that, and the positivity comes with being able to recap on moments in your life that mean something to you, right? We've people in the chat have brought up the idea of love. Again, love is unconditional and it's a feeling. It comes with emotions and it comes with actions. You could have loved that experience from that show, right? Like that whole thing is what probably set the stage for you following down the path of your
Right.
music, right? Like keeping an open mind, right? If we can keep an open mind, then we have more of an opportunity to see the things in our life that might be positive. So,
Right.
real quickly, if you're just scrolling past, take a quick pause. Brand new podcast, not a brand new name. There's people out there that have thought of this. That's also sick because we need more positivity. This is the positivity pause. Take a moment if you're scrolling, stop for a second, take a deep breath. I'm going to pack a bowl. We got a little bit more left in our show. We've got a couple more things to talk about, but we are at our mid-show little rests where we're gonna just kind of pack it up. We're gonna, if you are listening, just take a deep breath in and out. Relax for a second. Everyone's doing all right. You are loved out there in the world. Don't forget that. Don't forget it.
No,
You're
do
loved
not
by
forget.
me, Darth.
Yes, I got I got a lot. It doesn't take a lot for me to love people in this world. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hard part is finding the ability to become, being able to love people that might even upset you, right? Like being able
Yeah.
to forgive and all. I mean, like there are some people in my life that have pointed out that there are people that might upset me in my current life that um they're there for the reason to remind me how not to be, right? Like I don't always have to react. I can chill. I can
Yeah.
try to let things
No,
roll off of my back.
I think that's definitely a good. That's a good point. I mean, yeah, there's definitely people uh, who I'm still close with, and like we don't live the same lives, but there's still the same mutual respect. Uh, you know, I'm I'm a storyteller, man. So I just enjoy uh, the human oddity. That is like the people that that have are kind of shaded in the light of by the frat fabric of society, which really is all of us, but nobody people are afraid to admit that, and and I like to explore that those common everyday normal lives that have that eerie uh, shade, and like because we all experience it, we all experience pain and suffering, and we all experience fear, and we all experience love, we all and loss of love, and we've all experienced self-loathing in some form or another. So I like to explore that, and I've met I, I've met people that you could say I scraped the bottom of the barrel, but those are some pretty spectacular human beings.
Well, I think people in general that can unfortunately make decisions that lead them to places where they're not feeling very positive. Again, if you're just scrolling in, I'm taking a look. We got some people in and out. So if you are here, take a quick pause. We're looking for positivity. We're looking for some things that we can take a quick break on, reflect on, that we might have forgotten about today or over the course of the week. Just take a deep breath out there. Take a quick pause. Try to find some positivity in your own thoughts. Maybe change your environment a little bit. Put on a little bit of different music. Maybe put on a scented candle. We are coming to about an hour. We're gonna kind of just keep. What's up, Joseph? Sure, talk away, brother. We're here. Yeah, tell me, bro. We'll see if it's a good chat or something crazy. Nice. So we're gonna ignore that chat. Don't really care about that. Said my ween. He said his wiener actually fell off. Well, I gotta tell you, bro. Like that sucks.
You should get
Unemployment
that checked
101. Said it walked away with legs. Said you should get that checked out. Yeah, I think they have a term for that now. I think it's called going trans. That's cool, bro. If that's how you choose to do, man, get rid of your wiener, fucking go for it. Let's see. Java D, unemployed 101. Facts. Well, like I was gonna say, we're kind of just gonna rotate through some questions here for the next probably half hour. Shout out to all the people checking this out. We're just fucking trying to drop some positivity. We got people's wieners falling off. Fucking yeah. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. And yeah, if you are thinking that this is a good show to broadcast what being unemployed looks like, I wouldn't say I'm unemployed, but currently unemployed. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Ty is not, even though he might look like it. He might look like it, but don't be that judgmental. That's fucked up. We're here for
I'm
positivity.
definitely
He's
employed.
in a fucking car. You know what I'm saying? So like, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. We got some open discussion questions here. If you're just tuning in, this is the Positivity Pause. Something new that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get out of playing the video games for a little bit. I'm also trying to get out of my own death scroll. Even though I do check out a ton of people out there. So shout out to the people I've checked out. Shout out to the people checking us out. Shout out to Ty for hopping in here and talking positive thoughts with me. Let's see. So what are what's something that's brought you some peace today?
Some peace today. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of things that brought me peace today. Um, Specifically, I think I got some good writing done today. I'm working on a project right now that I'm just having fun with.
So
Uh,
writing in general is something that's bringing you some peace right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so I
So
have a
you
goal.
recommend that to anyone who is tuning in, you recommend that is writing something that's new to you?
It's not new to me. Just the style that I'm writing now is new. So I've always kind of had a thing for writing, and through therapy and such over the years, it's always been suggested that I write. So I have different forms of writing that I like to do. I write, you know, song lyrics. I'll write stories. I'll write poetry. But I also do journal my own thoughts. But going back to what we've kind of talked about is like setting small goals and stuff. I still will set like a limit of like what I'm gonna write, how much I want to write, or for how long I'm gonna write. So, you know, if I'm just gonna write about my day, like at the end of the day, I might give myself like, you know, just like maybe 10 minutes or something like that. But
So
today,
do you think that that's So, like, another question I have out there for the viewers. Shout out to Terrific. What's up, brother? I'm glad you come in peace. We come in peace. Crazy Martians. Um, that sounds like a habit, right? You're trying to make a better habit,
Yeah.
maybe to replace something that's not so healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so writing. Why? Let me ask you this specifically. What about writing do you think helps you not only to become more positive, because this is the positivity pause and we're trying to talk about positivity? Why do you think writing right now or writing has changed for you to where maybe like, or what do you think that's I guess the question I'm trying to rephrase here. How do you what habit sorry, trying to think out loud and I'm half stupid. So what habit has writing replaced that has helped you with finding some inner peace?
Uh, well, it's kind of helped me, like, kind of process some of my emotions that I
Okay.
might have when it comes to certain things. Um, so I've applied maybe like kind of techniques that I've like used or learned, and I'll switch it up. But yeah, like, so sometimes the story I might write might definitely be like a direct um, inflection, but like maybe a journal entry of like my day might turn into a story, or something like that. But as
Well,
far as like the
I think you
habit,
said it. It
that
helps
is,
you kind of organize your thoughts, and it might
yeah,
help you point out something that maybe you missed.
yeah, especially when I go back, so if especially when it comes to my journaling, so if I'm writing about like something that might have, disturbed me or bothered me, if I go through that a similar situation, I can kind of go back and like, all right, think about when it's happened at other times. Um,
Right. Well,
and,
that's a good transition into the next thing here, which would be, and if you're out there and you're just tuning in, I see we got some people scrolling in, so take a quick pause. Shout out to the people in Russia who are
Russia.
tuning in. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We're doing a positivity pause. It's a new channel. If you have checked me out before, I know I do a lot of video games, but we're actually trying to take a pause from that because again, sometimes I try to talk about positivity, but I think it needs its own hour. And I want to thank Ty again for hopping in with me. We are very new to trying to figure out some of this dual podcasting. So I'm sorry that he's not up on the screen with me as well, but he is on his channel. So we have a question from Daima. Sorry. Do I support the president? It's a pretty umbrella question. Um, because I don't really support I don't really support the United States federal government at all. So I don't really care who's the president because I all think they work for one other guy or like just a handful of other guys. I really don't think the man that we see is the real deal. And I also really don't support America stepping into Greenland. I think that that's fucking wild. Anytime we start using the word national security, um, not the biggest fan of those words.
Well, there's so much that you just said in the 20 seconds of that uh, that I just learned so much. I don't have uh, I don't have an opinion. I kind of agree with you on like I don't. Uh, yeah, I don't really. It doesn't matter who the president is. I kind of don't. It's hard for me to kind of even stay focused in on that. Uh, What I will say is that we do live in America, and I think in America, and I don't know enough to live from living. I've never lived in another country, but like we do have the ability to kind of focus on our own world, to kind of create our own world, is like in our own, you know, and I find it when people get so caught up who and what we support that it takes away from like the true necessity of things. So I'm unfortunately completely out of the loop when it comes to politics. Um,
But I think
so
we're on the same page that you and me we're on this little positive hour for people because that stuff in itself can drown out the positivity that I think comes from human nature in itself, right? Like I really enjoy having good conversations that we can, a good conversation can be worth more than money in my opinion. I really appreciate all the chat that's been coming in from Russia. I appreciate Joseph even with his funny chat. Freedom of speech matters, and I think that overall I care about everybody as a whole. That's why we're doing this type of little stream. It's to try to bring people together. Let's try to find some common ground today. There's too much fighting going on amongst everybody. And I think we're overlooking a lot of positive things out there that we need to talk about. And we need to find some common ground, not as just Americans, but as an entire let's just not forget we're humans, right? Like we're fucking human. I'm human, you're human. People in Russia are human.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's like one thing that yeah that I think is very important. Is that we are all human. um, we all like kind of like live like it's all the same thing. I mean, I think you kind of were touching upon it earlier a little bit. And like I could kind of say it's like we all live the same. We're all on a different page in the same book, you know. So it's like we all kind of experience some of the same things, and some to a different degree, and but we're all built different, So like it all might what might be traumatic to you may not be necessarily traumatic to me, and then vice versa. So
Well, like you said, the page is written differently for everyone, but we touched on it a little earlier with one of our other viewers is we all end up feeling the same way at the end of the page, depending on how and what I mean is I don't mean that like, oh, we're all gonna feel like, again, it all depends on how the page is written. The page could be full of sad things. I would say that nowadays it doesn't take a lot for me to start crying. All I got to do is catch a fucking dog on a short with the right music, and I don't know, I started, what I mean? Like, it doesn't take a lot to feel that. And it doesn't also take a lot to take a quick pause and remember we all laugh the same way, right? When we're laughing, again, when we scrolling a short and we're laughing, you hit that like button, it's because you laughed. You didn't laugh in a different language. You laughed to
right.
laugh. And that's
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are things that are just one of the very first like and most iconic like movie actors of all time was Charlie Chaplin, and like he he was in silent film, and it's because laughter is universal, So
see,
it's
that's
like
that's a key thing
uh,
right there. And that's huge. And that's a great thing that you pointed out. I wish I could pin that to this over here because that's just, I mean, we all should take a minute to just pause on that because it's a silent fucking film. A lot was left for interpretation, right?
Right?
But the result was the same.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
But it also speaks to other in that same genre, right, of movies that were silent. They also came out with movies that were love based, horror based,
Horror
right?
based,
Didn't
yeah.
take a lot to scare the shit out of people.
And they had
Um,
still the same type of things. I mean, I love silent film, so I can kind of go on it for a while. But I mean, there's the movie Metropolis, which is also a silent film, and that's just about, it's essentially about the takeover of artificial intelligence, and that again is also a silent film. Um, so it just goes to show you that like the kind of the mindset of what we think is happening in society, it's always been there.
right.
you know, it's always been there. It's constantly there, and it kind of keeps. It's kind of, I mean, it's a working gear of our society here, which is why
Yeah.
it's hard to get really invested in some of these current events. It's not, I don't want to sit here and look like, an ignorant fool, and like and the reason why I choose not to, because
Well,
there's
you're
only so much
choosing
I
you're
can
choosing a
take.
path that's not shrouded with all of the shit from. Again, we have some talking points on here. Shout out to the people checking out Ty's channel right now. Shout out to the people that are checking us out. This is the positive pause. We're trying to get people just to slow down for a second. Take a break from the current events. Just relax. Take a deep breath. You can scroll in a second, right? Nice. Nice pause. Solid pause. We we've touched on a lot of things in the last hour, which has been absolutely phenomenal. We had a great chat going on my side over here. Shout out to the people in Russia. Um, definitely don't discriminate where you're from. I'm going to shout you out wherever you are, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to put politics between good conversation.
That's really really cool that there's people in Russia like that.
Yep. Shout out to Darth. Shout out to uh, Daima. So yeah, anyone else out there, if you're just drop it in the chat, man. Maybe share this with somebody out there that might need a little positivity in their life. I think what really sparked me today on this, and not that me and Ty have not tried in the past to spread some positivity, but sometimes you really have to like take a step back, regroup, and then see the bigger message. But some of the shorts that I see nowadays, like when I'm scrolling, and I do have to scroll, I'm in it. Um, oh no way, yo, that's the Roadcraft dude. No way, yo, Kovac,
Yeah.
what's up, bro? No fucking way, you're in my fucking chat. I know who you are. I'm 90% sure that's you, bro. Hold on, I just had a fucking moment. Is that really the dude? I think it is. No, no, not that dude. This other dude, this Kovac. Can you check his channel? I'm like 90% sure that's the dude, yo. If you're really on my channel, that means I just fucking positivity my fucking yeah, I could say a bunch of shit. No fucking way.
No fucking way. Yeah.
No
Keep
fucking way.
it all
I probably
positive.
scared him
Anything
the fuck off. I was like, oh shit, oh shit.
he's like, who is this fucking shark? Like,
Nah, bro, that's
yeah.
like my motivation. I saw his shit and I was like, huh, that game looks fucking so cool. And then fucking
Yeah.
And then I like got the game and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And then I still watch his stuff because I think he's like a developer too. He like knows some other stuff. Dimitri, shout out to Dima is short for Dimitri in Russian language. Shout out to you, Dimitri. For real.
Nice. Dima.
I got 8
That's
followers.
so
Oh,
nice. Hey.
just gonna go like this real quick. We're gonna hop back in there. Ty's spreading some positivity with us. Don't forget to check out his channel. No, you're not crazy. I'm crazy.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Right?
Let me know if
Totally
y'all know
spelled this one.
that.
I don't think so. Maybe I wasn't. I was still really excited. It only takes a little bit. I mean, I'm still pretty sure a little bit, but I could be wrong. Anyway,
Stay excited,
my
man.
bad. At a moment, fucking Christ. You know, just fucking.
Alright. It only took like 55 minutes.
Nah, it took 7. Took 7.5. Um. Yeah, we've had a great we're having a great time right now. We're hanging out with Ty. We're trying to spread some positivity. The new channel over on YouTube called The Positive Pause. I'm trying to get more people over there so we can run this through that, and I'm not double dipping into my own other channel. But so some key things we've talked about tonight. If you're just scrolling past, one, positivity is not ignoring reality. Okay, we don't need to pretend that our realities don't exist. Being positive doesn't mean pretending that things are perfect. Okay, we can acknowledge that things in our life might not be perfect, and actually, at its very core, that is positive, right? If we can
Yeah,
acknowledge that things are not the best and that we have room to grow, well, now we're conscious of our own behavior, right? Now we can start making the change that we might not even know that we needed to make, right? Couple other things. Small
okay.
wins matter more than our bigger goals. That's what this hour is for. It's to take a quick pause and remember that small things in our lives can just change our entire perspective of our day, our mood. Some people out there, and you know this as well as I do, Ty, they might be living minute by minute. You might be out there trying to get sober. You might be out there trying to distance yourself from somebody that you might be codependent with. Some people literally are living minute by minute. So if on a minute by minute basis you're able to conquer those things, whether it's not picking up a drink, not doing a drug, not eating a cheeseburger, getting a smoothie like Ty did earlier. I know I want a cheeseburger all the time. It doesn't matter what
All
time
the
it
time.
is.
I always want to see
It doesn't matter
like
what time it is.
all
I fucking want
the
one.
time. Yeah,
But when we can choose to then make a good decision, that's all we need for a little bit of positivity. Don't forget little things like making your bed, positive. Drinking more water than soda, positive. Bam, positive.
man. Yeah.
What's something else, Ty, that's very small that you can think of on a short list of bam? What are things that people can remember that are positive?
I mean, just like yeah. You took some of mine. Eating right. I mean, just taking a pause in your day to day. What's something I talked about today in therapy was just is having those is those moments. You have those cognitive moments of like thoughts, behavior, or thoughts, emotions, and behavior, and then you can kind of break that down with thoughts of like of pause and like kind of filling those gaps. So you know, choosing not to give somebody the finger when they've cut you off driving, like that. Something.
That's a positive reinforcement. What about
Yeah.
small things like you could maybe your car is looking a little dirty. Like right now, I don't recommend scrolling and driving. I'm only saying car because I know you're in your car, so my brain's like car.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just go through your car real quick. Get the shit out of it. Maybe that will help. I don't know, right? Like maybe
Right.
there's some dishes in your sink. We talked about this earlier. You don't have to do all of the fucking dishes. Just do a couple
Yeah.
dishes.
Yeah. Get there. Get through that. Get like scrub a couple pots, and sometimes
I mean,
sometimes I'll do all the
if you
stuff.
do the pots first, you're gonna feel like $1,000,000. If you do the
Yeah.
pots first, you're gonna feel
Get the
because you know they've
pots
been
out
sitting
the
there the
way.
longest.
And then they just get through the rest, and it's like cake, and it's like if you have a dishwasher or a drying rag or whatever you got to do, you just get the hard. And that's one thing I actually kind of do get into, like at work, you know I'll get the worst task out of the way, the one that's like the most annoying. I'll get that out of the way first, and then like
Well,
whatever else,
sometimes
like
that's all you got to do. We don't have to shoot for perfection here. We just need
yeah.
I mean, I know for a fact there's one thing I could do right now that will make me feel better. I could go downstairs and change the toilet paper roll because I know that the cardboard one is sitting on top of the other thing and the goddamn toilet paper is sitting on my motherfucking vanity. If you're out there right now, I know for a fact 80% of you living like that. I know that. It's don't lie. In the bathroom that you got staged for everyone to come there, the other bathroom that no one fucking sees, guaranteed go into the master suite and you're gonna see a fucking cardboard roll and a fucking brand new thing of toilet paper on the sink. Just change it. I'm gonna change it right after this. Yeah. My wife just said I'm lying. It's probably true. I don't know. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like it's just one thing. That's like the easiest thing we could do right now in our lives. Is go change the shit paper roll. Easy, done. I mean, if you're feeling ambitious, when you go to throw it away and you see that it's overflowed, it's over the brim with shit, Q-tips, hair, fucking all the other shit. Maybe throw that away too. Save that for the morning. Make yourself feel good tomorrow. I don't know. But
Yeah.
we need small wins for positivity.
Yeah.
That brings us to the other third point of tonight, which was your environment can change and shape your mood. Don't forget it. It doesn't take a lot to bring yourself back to a moment in your life. Change the music. Put something on that brings you back to a good point in your life. Also, it doesn't always have to be the best point, it might be a heartfelt moment. It's how you deal with it right now. You could look back on that and find the positivity. Shit, put on a fucking candle.
Aromatherapy. Put on some music. Put on a different
Back.
sound. Things like that. There's a lot of things out there on YouTube and stuff that like you could just kind of zone out. Hey, find yourself a hobby. Like even if it's
Well,
just something
you
simple.
brought up a great hobby that brings us into it kind of skips our fourth one, but brings us into changing replacing certain habits with positive things. You brought up journaling. You brought up writing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one. And I set goals for that. Like I said, I set a time limit if I'm journaling. But if I'm writing like a story or something, I'll try to shoot for like 1,000 words. Within like 2 or 3 hours or something like that. Which is pretty difficult sometimes. It's more difficult some days than it is on other days. Some days those 1,000 words is a cake, is a piece of cake to get to. Other days, 1,000 words is not so easy to get to. So,
Well, I
But
think
as long
I
as
think for anyone out there, if you're just looking for something to try, right? Like maybe you've never tried putting your own, your own day into writing.
yeah,
Maybe just grabbing a piece of paper and a pen and writing out. I mean, being able to
yeah,
reflect on your own behavior in general, whether you're writing it down or not, is positive. Why do I think that's positive? The moment that you write something out, it becomes very real, right? We can manifest all of our day and how things look over and over in our head. There's a reality that if you write that down and then the next day you read it, the whole day you might be different, right? You're like, oh fuck, the way I remembered this is a little bit different. I wrote it down though like this.
yep.
I know for
But
myself
yeah,
when I do write, and maybe for you, Ty, when you write things down, there's a certain tone that you take when you write, right? So even though you might not be upset or think you were upset, being able to write something down and self-reflect and look back and be like, huh, I think I had a fucking tone.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's one thing that I don't. Yeah, I totally agree. And that's what I find so good. And I go back all the time. I've been, like I've said, I've always had a thing for writing. So, and I've kept the majority of the things that I wrote. And if I didn't keep it, it wasn't by choice. It was, um, I still have writing that's at my mom's house from back when I was in high school. That still exists. And I could think that there's things that I remember writing. To your point, there's things that I definitely remember writing, and if I come across them nowadays and like go back and read them, it's like definitely, oh, there's a different tone to this than like I like ever thought than I recall. Uh, so yeah, and I agree with you, and it's good to check ourselves, and I feel like I truly do believe that there's a different energy to that is created when you have like a thought and you're able to translate it onto paper, or even if you type it out. I know a lot of people aren't uh people are on their phones these days and stuff like that, but even still being able to write that out, I still most of the time I'll write a list. you know I don't write that out physically, but I'll type it out, and I still take my time to think it out. It
Well, I
doesn't.
think
It's not like it's
that's a great topic for anyone who is scrolling in. Again, it's a new little podcast I'm trying to get started here with Ty. We're gonna probably. I mean, I'm open to have other people. We got Ty on right this second. We're trying to get everyone to take a quick pause in your day to just reflect on yourself, reflect on some positive things. There's a lot going on in the news right now that is a little crazy and is shred with negative stuff. And again, shout out to all the people who have chimed into the chat. They've had some great questions for Ty, great questions in general, just for the conversation of trying to stay positive. We yeah, we've touched on a lot of stuff. And especially considering this is our first time doing this in a while, we had a total of 89 views so far. So shout out to all the people that have viewed. There's a couple people watching on my thing right now. I've seen you had a couple people come in and out of yours, so we appreciate that. Shout out to all the people on Kick that are checking this out too. I'm sorry if I've ignored you. I did see a couple follows. Shout out to Una, Weather Boys. Shout out to Gracia, Gracias, something. Appreciate all that love, man. Check out Ty's channel too. His all his stuff is over on my post. Eventually, I'll get better at this, and we'll probably have some stuff up on the screen. Time maybe we'll figure out how to get get us both on the bigger screen over here. Maybe we can put up some stuff to talk about. Keep people in the loop of what we're actually trying to do here. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to just pass some positivity to you, the viewer. Maybe you're not feeling loved out there. You're loved over here. And I don't mean that in some sarcastic gimmick type of way. I think that everyone deserves some sort of love. The other thing too, maybe you're going through some shit. Take a pause and remember you can forgive yourself. You can restart your whole mindset like right now. You don't have to scroll to the next thing. You can just take a pause, right? You can listen to me for a second, tell you that you're loved, tell you that whatever you're doing out there in the world is appreciated, probably more than you recognize. If you're tired of hearing about all the stuff in the news, again, turn it off. Just fucking turn it off. Take a walk. Go shovel some
Turn it
fucking
off.
snow.
Turn it off. Yeah, I'm sure there's snow. There's,
There's
yeah,
snow in
I mean,
places
it's
where there shouldn't
snow.
be snow.
I know. Yeah, I heard there was snow in Florida. Um, it's wild. Snow in Texas. I
Yeah,
know it snowed in Colorado. It snowed here. It snowed all over New England. New England got like crazy.
if you're just scrolling in, I got a quick question for everybody out there. Give yourself a second to think about it before you answer. What advice would you give your past self? Again, if you're just scrolling past, stop for 2 seconds. What is some advice that you would give your past self?
Yeah.
If I had to give my past self, any advice, it would be to be much more patient with other people. Because I know in my life I have not been very patient, especially when I was under the influence of drugs and alcohol. And not even that, just my younger self in general. I wanted everything right now and I didn't really want to wait for it. So, I think you got some people in your chat, bro. What's your favorite Applebee's order?
Applebee's order.
Haven't been there in a minute.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know the last time I went to Applebee's. Um, which one is Applebee's?
The one with I mean, they got like the boneless wings. It's just like Chili's. What you got a good one in your chat also is advice to past self, fear is an illusion.
Fear is an illusion. Yeah, I can agree with that. Fear is an illusion. I would definitely say that it wouldn't matter as much to uh I think what I would is like like how I think of myself is not necessarily how others might think of me. So I think that like I really wish I thought that more
Yeah.
growing up. Like that it just yeah, you know, had more
Well, I mean
potential.
fear in general. I mean, I think fear is something that I think fear and anxiety, at least for myself, come kind of from the same place. Uh but I mean realistically, like I've been like unfortunately like I remember the most like there are some moments in my life that I can look back on and I could say that I was genuinely fearful for my life or for my own safety. So I mean like whether that was an illusion or not, the feeling of it, right? The feeling of fear, the feeling of the unknown. Again, I don't think that discriminates. I don't think it discriminates what religion you are. I don't think it discriminates what color your skin is. I think there's just a reality that fear and anxiety, again, one of those things that we're trying to talk about here is that we all are, I think, in need of some common ground to realize that we shouldn't be fighting each other so much, you know? feelings of love, laughter, fear, anxiety. Again, like Ty said, it doesn't matter how the page is written. We're going to get there. The end of the page, you're going to feel some type of way. It's all about how it was written. Might be written a little different depending on who you are, but there's a reality that, if you read something that's sad, chances are you're going to feel sad, right?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I
Hey,
think
Logan,
all religions
can I get a little bit of bud?
have some type of thought of that. Like there's, you have the idea of karma, of what goes around comes around. What you put out into the world is what you're gonna get back. And like so, especially as somebody who's always considered themselves as an artist, it's like definitely like what if I want to like write about a certain topic, I'll watch a movie that might put me in that type of mood. Maybe a song that might put me in that type of emotion, something like that.
Well, it's one of those things we talked about, which is changing your environment, right? Putting on some
Yeah.
music can change
Yep.
your outlook. It can change how you're viewing your current situation.
I think for each like time we're feeling like if you're feeling angry, you like to put on music and like kind of just sing along with the words and stuff like that. It's a good vent. If you're feeling like kind of like unfocused or something like that, you try to like sit down and like read, or and it's like if you're feeling tired, you want to try to focus the mind. I forget. There's some specific things, but like for each kind of like I don't want to I guess disorder, emotional disorder that we're feeling or something like that. There's some type of physical outlet that we can find, and some of it is like just moving your body. If you're feeling anxious, like do exercise. Like
which is
if
momentum,
you're like
positive
yeah,
momentum.
right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, like I think the other one is like if your eyes are feeling tired or something like that. Um, shit, I forget.
It's all good.
If
We're
you're
gonna
having,
we're gonna take a quick pause. I'm gonna pack up the last bowl. We're gonna end up wrapping the show up. We don't want to make it too long for everybody. So if people want to check in on it later, they can actually check us out. If you want some positivity, this is positive.
oh, what up, Sam?
Star of the show, my wife. Oh, just got 1,000 views.
There you
We went viral.
Went viral real quick. Shannon me some fucking bud.
go.
I'm
Yeah.
not telling anyone what to do out there.
This is really bright on your face.
But yeah, it's really bad on that one, but it actually looks really good on Tyler's.
Probably just on Tyler's, yeah, because you're so on the computer, look how bright it is on your face. It's sticking away.
Everyone in my life has to get better at dropping governments, though. You should have seen it, yo. Chino came on the other day with his fucking chat on his thing, and it had his whole government on there with like a couple numbers at the end, and then he's fucking talking. Like, yo, you gotta change that a little bit, dude. You put the whole government in full letters.
Like, this is exactly how I spell my name.
Yeah, I know. Like, this is exactly how I spell my entire name. All right. So a couple things. We are coming to the close of the show. It's our first show, so if you are checking it out, maybe feel like hitting that subscribe button to any one of the channels that are out there that I've tried to put it on. Me and Ty are going to regroup a little bit so that we can kind of come at you better with a little fucking more positivity.
There you go.
Like I said, we're packing the last bowl of the show. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do it. I promise. And yeah, this is the positive pause. We're trying to take a quick hour out there of people's lives. It doesn't have to be the whole hour. Stop in for just 30 seconds. Take a couple deep breaths Everything out there in your life is temporary. If you're feeling sad, I promise you'll feel better one day. I hate to say it, everything is temporary. We're trying to find the positivity in negative things because unfortunately today, not not just in America, everywhere there's some shit going on. We need to come back together. We need to find some common ground. Hate to be cliche, we need to be on the same team. But I'm gonna smoke this. Everyone take a quick pause. We got a couple things to wrap up with. We really appreciate everyone. I know I really appreciate everyone that fucking hopped in chat that's over in Russia. Shout out to Dimitri. Shout out to Kovac. I really appreciate you, bro. I think you are who I think you are. Maybe not, but I'm gonna pretend that you are. Shout out to Joseph. Hope your wiener gets better, buddy. Hopefully you find it. I guess. I mean, I don't want to call you that, but I hope you find. I hope you find your wiener. Again, shout out to Darth, also from
Yo,
Russia.
oh my gosh, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
You know, I was at the library today, and I understand that the library is like public or everything, but there was definitely sorry if this is not like the mood you're going for, but there was definitely an old man that was looking at dildos stuff like on the fucking computer and everything. It was just very shocking to see.
Well, hey,
You know,
man.
I was just I know. Who am I? Like, what can I say? I just I didn't say anything to him or anybody else. I just grabbed my books and kept going. But I was just like, huh. It was a very it was an interesting day at the library today.
All right. Well, if you're just scrolling in, we are getting ready to wrap up. We're just going to hit you with a couple questions. Shout out to the 4 people that are checking it out right now as we're getting ready to drop you with some questions. I hope today you were able to find some sort of peace. Take a brief minute to take a deep pause. What are some things that might have brought you some peace today? Maybe it was yesterday, but try to find it in. What are some habits out there that you are trying to replace with something that is healthier? It doesn't have to be a big thing. We talked about this in the show a little bit. What can it be? Change the shit paper roll. It's the first thing I'm doing when I get off of the stream. I'm going to go downstairs, take the toilet paper roll that we know is sitting there, change it. These are little things. We don't need to do big things. Remember the small things. Think about it tonight before you're going to bed or before you hop into your next scroll. What are some things and or advice that you would tell your past self? What are some things that you might have overlooked in your life that you could go back and tell your past self? I know for me it was, I really wish I could have been more patient at a younger age. I didn't understand the value of patience, and I chose to rush key parts of my life that I wish I could go back and really cherish more. What is something that you were grateful for today that you usually don't think about? Nice. Thank you, Dr. Cormer. The minimal. Now, see, I'm interested in that. We're coming to the end of the show, but I got a doctor out. No, hey, doctor, wait. Oh, I got a question for you about what is normal. What is the normal amount to wipe when you poop, though? Because I have terrible pooping habits. I'm being yeah. He said, "Hello, I'd like to update you that I just went to the toilet and squeezed out a very healthy poop, but with minimal wipes required." I'm just curious what that is. What is the minimum amount? If you could let me know, that would keep it very positive. I think I'm over the amount, but anyway.
I fucking hope so. Whatever the fuck he tells you, I'm definitely gonna make sure that I go over it because I
No,
don't
because
know
I'm
about
being
the
I mean, when I look at my own diet, when I'm eating more fiber, again, positive shit, right? Literally positive shit here. If I eat healthier, I don't have to wipe as much. Facts, 100% facts.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like if I
Okay.
eat a fucking
Okay.
pint of ice cream tonight,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to spend multiple times. Like that. There's a reason why the fucking cardboard roll is sitting there. It's like we're not fucking.
Okay. All right. I understand. Now I understand. Okay. You're like really thinking about this. Like, you know,
I
and
I take
okay.
all chat seriously. You can be as funny as you want. Tell me your wiener's running off. Tell me you took a huge dump. If you're gonna drop some shit like the healthy fucking amount of times, I want to know what it says. Doctor, I'm gonna believe it. I mean, his picture. He kind of looks like a doctor. I don't know. This other dude from Russia.
Okay.
I never
No,
poop.
I respect it. I respect it. That's like, you know, like, yeah, that's like the I like your logic. That's like the same logic of like when when you're reading a book and like, you know, there's like the character drops some type of fact or whatever. You just automatically assume that the author knows exactly what they're talking about
Why not?
and that they're exactly. Yeah, yeah, you know, like,
Hey man, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I don't want you
yeah,
talking about that. Like I don't. I mean, up until like, first of all, the viewers I got, I appreciate. So I don't want to scare anyone off. Second, you can say whatever you want. I believe in freedom of speech. I'm not gonna fucking tell you not to. Just know that I'm gonna hit you with it back. Like we're gonna talk about it a little. It's, you know, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not real. Like, and if it because pooping is mad important.
it is important. It is very important. It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, all right, fuck. Anyway, getting back to our wrap up here.
I,
So that
I I come up with my most creative ideas. I can't tell you how many times I have like finished taking a dump and been like, I have to go take care of this right now because if I don't, you know, like, because
well,
it's like, you know, because
you're
I don't
doing
know.
a great segue into tomorrow's morning show. Maybe Ty wants to join us. It's going to be the morning scroll and poop show. I know everyone does their best work in the morning. So in reality, we're going to do a short thing in the morning whenever we get up, whenever if we can figure it out, maybe we can make it work. Let's hope we can make it work. I'm still going to do it without Ty if he's got to be at work or something. But I am going to call it the scroll and poop show for positivity. I think a lot of people don't realize that their brains are working a lot in the morning and they're sitting there scrolling, pooping. Take a minute to pause before you start your whole fucking day. We're going to do it in the morning. We're going to figure it out. It's going to be the craziest thumbnail in the world, but it keeps with the theme of sticking positive. So, before we wrap up, I just want to say this. If you did show up today from wherever you did, I really fucking appreciate it. Really, really means a lot. If you're still trying out there for whatever it is that you're trying for, don't forget that shit counts. You definitely don't need to have everything figured out. I want to thank Ty for hopping on with me. Great buddy from back in the day. We got a couple things probably to figure out, I would imagine, here if we're going to do this again.
Yeah,
But we really
yeah,
appreciate the viewers. I want to shout out to the people on Ty's chat as well. I know he hasn't probably ever live before, so shout out to you, bro. And yeah, I just want to thank you again. Thanks for sharing this pause with us. This is the
Well,
positive. This is the positive pause, and we will be back very soon for another pause. Very very soon. Thank you
yeah.
guys, and thank you, Ty.
Woo-woo.
Woo woo. I don't know how to end that part. I'm gonna go like that.